Welcome to the Put on Waivers Media Group, home of the Put on Raiders podcast and the Student Body Right podcast. This is your place for the best breakdowns and the best insight for those who fight on and bleed silver and black. Now, here are your hosts, Dwayne Douglas and Ryan Holmes.
Hey, welcome everybody to the glorious episode of the Student Body Right USC podcast. I'm your host, Dwayne Douglas, and I'm podcasting off the beautiful shores of the Pacific Ocean. Beautiful day out here in Southern California. PORSBR is my Twitter handle, and it also can save you 10% off of activelyblack.com. That's activelyblack.com. They have a lot of activewear, swimwear. They have sneakers. They got everything. They're also aligned with some really cool athletes as well. You will see a collection that they have with Allen Iverson. The answer obviously was rocking that Hall of Fame weekend where Dwayne Wade, Tony Parker, and Dirk Nowitzki got inducted to the Hall of Fame. So you definitely want to check that out. That's activelyblack.com. 10% using PORSBR as your 10% promo code to get some money off on some really nice stuff. And ladies, they got some good stuff for you as well too. And a lot of ladies are working out more and doing all those things like that. They got some great stuff for you there. So definitely check that out on activelyblack.com. Their greatness is in their DNA. So let's just go right to the to USC here. And they kind of, it's funny because they are calling him Captain America. They're jokingly calling him Captain America. But Tackett Curtis, I mean, maybe he might break the starting lineup, or maybe he might get a lot more reps than initially thought. I mean, I understand that he is he's a freshman coming in, and we're not sure whether or not that's if he can take snaps away from Shane Lee, take snaps away from Rajon Davis and people like that, but he might be able to do that right now. People are really thrilled with the way he's playing. He has been all over the place, and you can be all over the place as a linebacker, but are you all over the place with purpose? Are you there on the run fits? My question for him is, can he hold up in pass coverage? I mean, that's something that we got to see. Can Tackett Curtis do that? And if he's able to do that, I mean, the sky's the limit for this defense. I mean, really seriously, the sky's the limit for this defense, because you already have Moss there. You already have Eric Gentry there. I mean, those are some really key elements, and Eric Gentry is going to be the key to a lot of this whole thing defensively, because he's such a unicorn with his skill set and his size and his ability to just do so many different things for SC. But Tackett Curtis, aka Captain America, really could be a kind of a game-changing player for the Trojans, and all the Trojan coaches are talking very highly of him. So that should be fun to see what he can bring to the table for the USC Trojans defensively. So like I said, biggest thing for me when you have linebackers is people are going to do what they can to isolate you in space against tight ends, against running backs out of the backfield. We saw, in the Cal games, Shane Lee got victimized a little bit in those situations. In the Utah game, the tight end from Utah still was catching passes for against the Trojans in that game out there in Salt Lake. So you have to really be mindful of that part of the game, because it's more of a passing league than it is a run league, in all of college football. And the USC Trojans are going to be facing some really tough competition as far as capable quarterbacks. Hartman. You got Penix. It's been well chronicled how many quarterbacks they have. I mean, Cam Rising as well. Like, there's going to be some really good quarterbacks coming out in the draft, and a lot of them are playing in the Pac-10. So can he be that guy? I could definitely see him being a great blitzer. I would love to see him on some third down blitzes. I know last year, we talked about Alex Grinch a lot, and because he's going to be a topic of conversation for a long time. And for me, it's more along the lines of like, it's, do I want to sit there and watch somebody rush three people all the time? Like, nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see you rush three. So, when it's time to blitz, when it's time to do those things, can he blitz and finish the plays? Yes, you can blitz and get a quarterback off the spot, but open field tackles, all those things, we got to see what he can do in those moments as well. So Tackett Curtis having a good fall camp. We are, 12 days, 10 days away from seeing USC actually take the field against San Jose State. It's gonna be exciting. I'm gonna be there, so it's gonna be fun to kind of get the feel of the crowd and see how many people will show up. I mean, last year I understand maybe a little bit, and it was brutally hot that day, depending on where you sat. But it's time for the USC fan base to, like, we can talk about SC. We can, say all these things about SC, but I think it's time for that we show up for SC. It's about that time. College tickets aren't crazy, you know. I know you can't make every game, depending on what you do for a living, but it's about that time for USC to um the USC fans to, I understand it holds over 90. That first game, let's get like 70, 80,000 people in that stadium, if you will. The next thing is Dorian Singer. Now Dorian Singer is, everybody talks about him taking over for Jordan Addison. I think that's a big possibility. I think it's a huge possibility there because he is just everything I've read and all the people I talk to say one thing is this guy is just a constant professional wide receiver, and he's basically ready for Sundays. That's basically it. He's ready for Sundays. You can't. I mean, and you saw some of the clips of Jordan Addison with the Vikings already. Jordan Addison was ready for Sundays as well. So it's going to be fun to see how they actually kind of implement him into this offense. But when they need a big play, I mean, Taj Washington, people like that, but they got Dorian Singer for a reason, and he's there to be that number one. And if he's able to be that number one, I mean, and he fits right in with Jordan Addison, I'm gone, and Caleb Williams just distributing the ball all over the place. That being said, I mean, as much as he spreads the ball around, when they need a big play against UCLA, when they need a big play against Oregon State on the road, they found Jordan Addison. Can he get that rapport with Dorian Singer that quickly? Well, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, weapons are all over the place for SC. So we'll see if Dorian Singer is going to be all that everybody's saying he's going to be, like that guy who's just ready to go right, jump in and be a star for the Trojans and in this upcoming season. And obviously, I think Jacoby Lane as well is a guy who has just been turning heads in fall camp, and just the framework is just ridiculous as that goes. He's a really tall receiver, very tough to deal with. All those stuff. I mean, they have such a variety of weapons in that wide receiving core. It's pretty nuts. It's absolutely nuts. And I think a lot of people are excited for Zachariah Branch, but I mean, obviously, he has that just freak ability to do so many things in this offense. And I don't know what this offense is, even as long as they can keep Caleb Williams upright and healthy. I think they'll be able to do that. This team is, the sky's the limit as far as this team goes offensively, and we'll keep talking about the defense and what they can do. And when they got to a good start defensively, people are going to say they didn't play anybody yet. We know how that goes. They didn't play anybody yet. They wait till they play Utah. Wait till they play Notre Dame. Wait till they play all these teams. I mean, Georgia can give up 40 points to anybody, and then it's okay. But it doesn't really matter, right? Because we're USC. So really quick on the I almost said Baker Mayfield, but Johnny Football. Johnny Football did a documentary. I've not seen it. I don't plan on seeing it. I feel like he was a waste of time. He was allotted something really special, and he absolutely wasted it. And the one part of it that I wanted to talk about was the fact that he is a guy who took money. His friends are laughing on the documentary about taking money. And again, we're here with the Reggie Bush situation all over again. The NCAA is slowly losing its power. It's slowly losing its power to these big conferences. And at some point, let's be honest, we're going to be in a situation where it's going to be AFC, NFC, Big Ten, SEC, and there's going to be nobody else. Could be different tiers, but I mean, we're headed in that direction where that could be a thing where we're sitting there saying to ourselves, hey, this is the NFC champion, this is the AFC champion, and then we get all these playoff games and everything like that. Like, what are we doing with the Reggie Bush situation? I have no idea, but it would be a nice olive branch, if you will, for them to just say, okay, we were wrong. Now, some people never want to admit they were wrong, but in the current plight of college football with NIL and all these things like that, it's just time. It's just time to move on. Time to stop being petty, stop being silly. People who oppose USC or are anti USC or not fans of USC will joke about Reggie Bush, and if you ask them, hey, what did he get his Heisman taken for? They can't even tell you. They can't even tell you. They'll give you all the wrong information that you could possibly get. So let's do right by an individual who has really been a stand-up individual, and kind of represented the best in college football for a long time. And there's no reason for him to be sitting home without a Heisman, because not only was he one of the greatest players at USC, but he is one of the greatest players in the history of college football. Nobody in recent memory, no guy had you hold your breath as an opponent or as a USC fan than when Reggie Bush had the ball in his hands. All right. So on that note, I'll see you next time. The season is almost here. Cannot wait. Can't wait. Can't wait. Bart Scott voice. Can't wait. Can't wait. Well, it should be fun times out here in Southern California. All right, folks. As always, man,